Here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Yeah, in sync.
4, 3, 2, 1. And we're live with the second and in fact deciding map, Unknown versus Mamut. Group A, ClanBase EuroCup 26, Miso, Deeth, Satan and Nuba Killer is the Mamut lineup. And for Unknown we got Deuce, Gerper, Hazard and Lincoln. We're following Gerper off the start. Oh my god, what an amazing grenade by Deeth.
I don't think he was aiming that at
Let's
Gerper,
pretend he was.
but it looked astonishingly good.
Yeah, that's frag movie material. Somebody make that right now. Unknown 4-2 up. We don't have the quad time of the first one, but of course it could be after 30 seconds. Has to spawn before the end of the minute. Random first time. Both teams should have individuals there already, but wow. They've been completely outmaneuvered by Unknown there, Mamut.
Yeah, Lincoln just destroyed them.
Nubicula giving away a free frag. Thank you very much, says Lincoln. Probably hitting some insane accuracy on his lightning gun now as a result. And Gerper's the guy with the quad as a reward. Miso, easily killed. Nubicula's a follower now. The red armor in the hands of Gerper. He is just railed off his perch.
That's a vital rail, just to slow him down, and again.
Yeah, puts him in a terrible position. It's very difficult to get good quad runs on this map because the kind of routes you can take are fairly limited and which ones are the strong and which are the weak. Gerper trying to chase that kill still, and you see he was just stopped dead in his tracks by those two rails.
Yeah, he'd have liked to have killed Satan there, obviously because Satan had a rail. And, you know, when you're going to prioritise who you're going to kill as the quad carrier, then a rail is up there at the top of the list.
So Gilman making his way across the map. Looks like they got a full run of the map though. Rather worryingly for Mamut. That's an important grab of the rail by Miso, just dropping down there. He's going to have to be cautious and watch his back here.
Yeah, always a dangerous position to fight in.
Whoa!
You really need to be fully aware of what's going on around you.
And shot from all different angles there, in fact. The period of since picking up that rail does just hit that railgun, helps his teammate Nubicula come out with the kill. Whether that rail was stolen away by the fresh spawner Hazard. It didn't drop it, importantly. That's a very important thing, and it comes with experience not to drop weapons, or especially key weapons like rails and lightning guns.
Yeah, and if a weapon is dropped in a fight like that, and you manage to steal it away, don't switch to it if you're about to die.
Exactly as Hazard did there. Good play by him. Hazard caught in the back there. Deuce managed to grab the shotgun and actually get the kill, though he does go down and drop it. Things like shotguns aren't as important to drop as we say. People tend to drop them quite often. There's a couple of spawns usually on every map.
Yeah, but at the same time, what would you rather do? Would you rather go up against a shotgun or a machine gun?
Here we go, Deuce making the rush with a teammate as well. He really went forwards towards it. Surprised Satan didn't catch him in the air early with the lightning gun. But it looks like they're going to miss out on the quad. In fact, as Unknown grab it, Hazard some kind of mouse issue there. I think that cost his team, actually. They've decided to call a timeout. Deeth, rather, kind of.
Yeah, he was just sort of running into the wall there.
Oh, very strange. Either way, that did cost them the quad, in essence, or at least help on the quad defense.
So yeah, one less shooter. The quad wasn't secure.
And it was eliminated pretty rapidly. Gerper's point of view again. This is such a good position to take up when you do have a railgun. I mean, it's very hard to counter this.
Yeah, and he just needs to hit his shots, and he's a serious problem for Mamut if he does this. And we've seen him in a position like this so often for XT in the past.
Spamming the grenades towards the red armor position is able to secure the railgun. We've discussed this previous times on this map. The key areas are going to be those two weapons, the railgun as he's at now, and the lightning gun as he was previously just at.
Yeah, and even if you're not getting the reds, you know, if you're on the mega side of the map and you're getting the lightning guns and you're getting the rails, then the team at red is actually in trouble at that point.
I can't imagine a more terrifying prospect. We just saw Gerper, Lincoln and Deuce have railguns.
Exactly, I mean, that is a very worrying lineup of railers to be playing against. Hazard as well has very good rail.
I mean, they probably should have offered at least some challenge over the rail pickup there, but it would have been very difficult anyway with two rail supports going to Lincoln picking.
To some extent, this is the sort of team you're going against that I think rail is more important than lightning gun. I mean, Deuce and Lincoln, very, very good with lightning gun as well, but I'd be more afraid of what they can do to a game with their rail.
Well, lightning gun is a very effective weapon, but of course you do need to put yourself in a bit more of a vulnerable position to utilise it.
Yeah, exactly.
Rail, you can just sit here like Gerper and nobody can challenge it. If he hits his rail shots, he will not die. It's as simple as that.
And of course, we'd expect a player of his level to hit most of them.
Yeah, it's out of D. I don't know if he even managed to rail his teammate there while he was doing that, though. It does take a bit of plasma damage. 5 seconds to go before the power up. Their power up play this map is looking a lot stronger. And this time Lincoln grabbing it. He does have shotgun, he has a plasma, but he's only got 1 plasma bolt to use there. 10 seconds to go before Mega. Might wait around for it. He's in a vulnerable position in this pit area.
Yeah, but there's just so little presence from Mamut on this side of the map. And why would there be a quad, I guess, but...
Chasing the frag here, this could be a dangerous thing to do. It didn't really pay off in the end for Lincoln, although he does come around and take the lightning gun. Deeth out LGing Lincoln there.
He must have had the yellow armor.
Comes out with only 2 health remaining. That's a bad switch. He did a bit of damage to Deuce, but he's dropped it. And he's lucky, really, that Miso was there. Although, he just left the lightning gun, so maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know who picked those up in the end, but I'm surprised that Miso chose 1 kill over some of those important weapons that were dropped.
Well, I was very surprised that Deeth went to do a bit of LG damage with only 2 health. I mean, didn't seem like a very good trade.
I can never understand why anyone would even consider that.
If Deuce,
just 1 shot from anything will kill you.
If Deuce has the worst awareness in the world, then maybe you'll get away with it and get a kill. But I mean, you're not talking about a weak player there, right? Gerper almost getting caught out about Miso there. He's got the yellow armor to his name. He's going so aggressive with the lightning gun against rockets.
Just looks like his sense is too low to just keep the lock when he's being bounced around.
Surprised he went for that. It was really aggressive. It really didn't pay off, although Gerper is eventually taken out. Deuce 7 impressive 6 minutes in. It's sort of the same rate as he was on the previous map. Purgatory.
Yeah, and this is the position he loves to rail from the most. This is what he was doing on LAN, and you know, as I said earlier, he ended up with 20 plus impressives against a team like 4 Kings.
8 impressive there, finishes off Nubicalir with the shotgun, and nobody can rush last second when there's somebody down there hitting every shot, and Lincoln coming out with a quad, 2 frags straight away off the bat, a rail kill. I love it when Lincoln does his rail runs with quad.
Yeah, I don't think there's any better quad runner when Lincoln's on board.
So confident he's going to hit his shots. Does miss a couple though today. Maybe
that
not
surely should have hit. It just looks like it goes through.
It's been pretty unfortunate. The rocket happened to spawn right then. It was almost, wow, still a very good run by Lincoln.
Yeah, certainly. 73 to 37 is the score after that quad run.
This is quite a tactical map, you might think, but when one team gets on top and they start cycling that red and using it out on the weapon positions, the rail and the lightning gun effectively, and they get a really good momentum going, you can absolutely dominate this map. You can overrun it in a matter of, 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. This, to me, is sort of a balanced map in terms of, it requires strong skill sets from all parts of the game. You need strong aim, strong timing, good awareness. It's not like Grim Dungeons, and it's certainly not like Hidden Fortress, which are kind of the 2 opposite ends of the spectrum.
Somewhere in between. Somewhere maybe a lot more maps should aim to.
Yeah, I think so. I think most maps should be this sort of style, and then you should have, a map like Grim Dungeons, and then a map like Hidden Fortress as well.
20 seconds now, 40 frag margin between the 2 teams, 8 minutes in. 15 seconds before quad. Lincoln, again in such a good position to stop any onrush up high. It's exactly what we talked about so many occasions. If you can push out and stop them even seeing the quad spawn location, then you've done a good job. 3 seconds to go before the quad. They're already damaged before they even get into the roof. It's just 101 on how to defend the quad area, although they are overrun at the end of it. They rushed in spawners from the other side.
Yeah, I think it was good by them, because even though those 2 players that pushed out died, they did such high amounts of damage that the players coming in were then just so weak.
Really, if you can, push out your defense of the quad area as far as you can go. Remember, there's only 3 entrance points into the quad. So if you can push out at this upper level at least, then you've only got to defend a bounce pad and then a tight doorway.
Yeah, I mean, it's basic strategy in any battle situation. You don't want to defend necessarily at the vital point. You want to keep the enemy away from it if possible. Now, it's not always an option, but when you can do it, it is certainly preferable.
Deuce getting a quick cheeky frag with the shotgun there on a guy who'd just been railed. Second frag on Miso there. Decides not to push through into the open area. All this team are at red now. Go and maybe lock down this area for a pickup. Whoa, heavy shotgun on Deeth, but he took rocket damage as well. Deeth's down to 10 health, but the rail is up. Deuce needed support there, which he didn't get.
Yeah, even one teammate there, that would have been Deeth dead 100%, and then there's only one Mamut player left, and then it's possibly an even fight.
It's closing in around a 50 frag margin, though, 30 seconds before quad. If I'm Mamut, I'd think, look, we've got in on basically none of the power-ups so far. We need to get in on them.
They need to change, what they're doing. Either get there earlier and look to try and defend against the incoming unknown attack, or maybe just look to contain the quad, get on the doorways like Deeth is now, but don't look to actually get in the room.
He decided to dive in. He did some good, well-placed nades, actually, causing a lot of trouble.
Excellent.
Yeah, but no real pressure in the room itself, because once he jumped in, he was dealt with so quickly.
This is a very dangerous sight. Gerper with 70 armor to his name, a lightning gun and a shotgun on this quad run as well. Red won't be up, so he can just rush through towards the lightning gun area, and considering they pretty much killed all the Mamut players, it's not going to be too much to worry about weapon-wise.
No, it looks like there's just one player left who's got some weapons. I think it was Nubikiller.
So 100 sack pretty much. Lightning gun still got a budget. Oh my god, Deeth! The ambush superstar seems to be.
Yeah, it was a nice try, because he could have. He was right, I think, to expect Gerper to go that way, because Gerper knew that there was a player with weapons in the yellow area somewhere.
There's a very nice ambush again. He didn't pay off, but we saw it previous game. I think the previous map. In Purgatory, I think he did it once, maybe twice. To quads, and then against Plan B he did it a couple of times as well. So Deeth very aware of what's going on around him.
Yeah, and it's valuable to have players in your lineup that are capable of those important kills. Some players just there's no real explainable reason why, but just some players seem to have a knack for making important kills, like killing power-ups.
I think it's like a map awareness. You can picture the whole map in your head. You can work out the kind of runs, the kind of time that a player will turn up. So if quad's picked up, then roughly he's going to get to a certain area in say 5 or 6 seconds. The next sound you hear is probably going to be that quad. You can usually use the glow of the player as well, and it's just like getting a certain angle around a corner to make it difficult for the quad to see you and then to instantly react. It's almost a skill in itself. See Deuce here with the rail. It's always going to be a threat with that. A little bit delayed on some of his shots there. 5 seconds to go before the quad. Looks like Unknown and pulled that one a bit later than previous, but they're all there. And look at that. Look at the key of that one, eh? Lincoln does decide to take the quad. I'm not sure if he actually meant to run over that, though. Like
yeah, Deuce had better stag, but Lincoln's got all the weapons, so it saved them messing around with weapons.
When I see a player who's got all the weapons, that suggests to me he's been alive for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy kill on Miso, just jumping around. When quad's about, that's the time you've got to start walking and being more cautious. 8 impressives for Lincoln there. Quad rail, 3 frags on this run. And this is the kind of victory perhaps we would have been expecting from Unknown going into this tournament. Maybe they're just stepping up the game a little bit as each game goes on.
Yeah, this is the kind of frag differences I was expecting them to put up against Skywalkers in their first game, and they didn't quite manage it. I know they won by 50 in the second map, but they actually had a surprisingly close Hidden Fortress game. But this is a team that's actually looking extremely dangerous now.
Yeah, as each game goes on, because they're not going to be the most hard practiced team, because they're all veterans, they almost don't need to. As each match goes on, that's their practice, and they'll just get stronger and stronger and stronger.
I think there were some gaps in their play on Purgatory. I mean, against the absolute best teams, I don't think their power-up play was particularly great, and that might be something other teams, you know, there are other competitors such as Sito and Play in particular will look at. You know, double power-up maps perhaps, Purgatory maybe in particular.